Hey guys, welcome back to Chariot Palmistry. My name is Sulab Jain, and in this video we are going to be giving you guys our predictions on what we think will be happening over the month of September. Now this video is dropping a little late because in Sydney we've been in lockdown for a couple months. So I've re-recorded this video a couple times, but I'm finally able to get it out to you. So there's a couple key themes we really want to be looking at right now. We'll divide this video up into like 3 or 4 different phases. We'll look at our predictions over August like we always do. We'll talk about potential black swan events because these things are starting to hit the headlines once again. Then at the very end, I'll give you my predictions for all of September too. But first, let's have a look at last month to see how we've been going. So I basically had 6 predictions last month. One of them was that there would be a stock market correction from the middle of August to the end of September. So it's too early to call that one, although there was a little bit of a dip in the middle of August. We'll come back to that at the end of September and see how that one went. My second prediction was that there'd be a Bitcoin correction or a sideways move up until the middle of August. That actually took place. I think it was sideways more or less until about the 10th. After that point, there was a Bitcoin price boom from the middle of August until literally today where the price just fell off a cliff. We'll come back and tell you guys what I think is going to be happening to Bitcoin over the rest of September here in just a second. But my fourth prediction was that Ripple price would start to go up as well. That's the XRP token. And that had a phenomenal 4-week period there. It was up something like 2 or 3 times. Gold and silver price rise did not manifest though. And my last prediction that there'd be an armed conflict from August into September took place when the Taliban took over all of Afghanistan once again. There were also some minor skirmishes in other parts of the world. I think Israel and Lebanon got into it, and there were like threats of war in other places too. So for those of you keeping track, that brings our record at 31 correct predictions out of 39 so far this year. So on that note, I want to talk about sort of a big energetic change that I think is taking place in the world right now. For those of you who've been on this channel for a while now, you'll know that I've been saying that we're in a 3-year cycle of huge emotional swings up and down. 2020 was a year of deflation economically, and that caused depression for a lot of people with lockdowns and shutdowns and everything else. 2021 so far has been an optimistic year financially and for most people too. However, next year, 2022, is going to be a pessimistic year once again. And when I calculate 2022 next year, I'm actually going to start that from November of this year. Meaning this November to next November, you're going to see like a really big mood change happening to people. Everyone who's been happy these last 12 months or so, they're going to start turning sour and blue once again. So keep your eye out for that. So that's one general prediction I do want to give you guys, in that things look rosy right now, but there's storm clouds happening on the horizon. This Taliban takeover of Afghanistan seems to be one of those early indicators there. The other thing I do want to update you guys on is on the track record of India. Now here's a screenshot from earlier in the year of a video I made about the political events that will be taking place this year. Now, I predicted the rise of India to take place from approximately the middle of this year. That's when COVID happened, by the way, or the 4th wave or the Delta variant took place in India. Since that time though, India's GDP in only the last quarter has risen by 20%. And this is more or less in line with my theory that India's golden age is only just beginning, literally right now, right under our noses. So I want you guys paying attention to economic news out of India over the next sort of 5, 10, 50, 100 years or so, because this is a country that's going to be rising higher and higher. In fact, it's already starting to decouple. India's stock market is starting to decouple from that of the United States. Whilst I'm predicting the US to have a correction this month, I think India's stock market is going to keep rocketing higher and higher, outperforming the US. Now, the other thing I do want to talk about is a potential black swan event before we get to the predictions for this month. Now, I think it was last month or maybe the month before in my update video, I told you guys to start preparing for potential black swan events. between this September to March of next year. And would you believe it? There was a literal black swan that landed in Tiananmen Square in China. And for those of you who are into omens, that's basically a very scary omen that something's about to kick off in China over there. Now, it's too early to give specifics on this, but if I were a betting man, I'd say keep your eyes on China for an actual black swan event. We should also be paying attention to the country of Pakistan as well. Because just as the Taliban has taken over Afghanistan, I think this is only just a matter of time before they start to spread their influence into Pakistan and potentially take over that government too. And if that happens, you can be rest assured that the Taliban, with potentially nuclear weapons, are going to get into a tiff either with China, India, or potentially the US. That may not happen for a number of years now, but we'll start seeing the first rumblings of that within about the next 1 or 2 years, potentially before March of next year as well. And the other potential black swan that I do want to update you guys on is the potential presidency of Kamala Harris. This is still a couple months away, but we still want to keep this fresh in our minds because I think it's only a matter of time before she puts a knife in the back of her boss and takes a job for herself. Oh, and the other thing I do want to say about black swans is this month as well, a company called Palantir spent a ton of money on buying gold bars in preparation for black swans. Now, this is a company that I've actually been following for some time now, and one of our members on our channel has actually requested me to make a video on the hands of the founder of this company. I'll be putting that out in the next couple of weeks. Now, for those of you who want to support our channel, consider becoming a member. It only costs a couple dollars a month, and for that you get a whole range of extra update videos just like this one. But that's the black swan scenario over here. We've got corporations preparing for a black swan. There are countries preparing for black swans. There are literal black swans landing in countries that are politically volatile at the moment. So keep an eye out for this, guys. Something's about to kick off. Now, having said that, let's talk about our predictions for the month of September. The first prediction I'll put over here is that stock market correction that I thought would take place from the middle of August to the end of September. I'm also going on the record as predicting a Bitcoin price rise taking place from mid-September. And I know today there's been a big drop in the price of Bitcoin, but I'm not really too concerned with that. I'd be looking at that more or less as a buying opportunity. Now remember guys, nothing I say in these videos is financial advice, so don't take what I'm saying to the bank. Do your own research and figure out what you want to do with this knowledge. But that's sort of where my prediction is. Mid-September to mid-October, there's going to be a huge rise in the price of Bitcoin. I'm also going to predict a rise in the price of Ethereum over the same time frame too. And this isn't necessarily because Bitcoin moves all crypto markets. I think Ethereum, its founder, is very sensitive to Venus energy and Jupiterian energy, the latter of which will be in Capricorn by the middle of September. So that should push the price of Ethereum up. We're also going to predict a Cardano or ADA price rise. And I want to give credit for this prediction to Simon Chikowski. He was on our channel earlier in the year in an interview and he actually made this prediction. So shout out to him. Those of you who don't follow Simon, I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description at the bottom of this video. He's got one of the best crypto groups / astrology groups out there on the internet. So it's definitely worth checking him out. The other prediction I'm going to make is a Cell token price rise as well. I'm going to predict that from the end of September onwards. And that, guys, is my predictions for the month of September. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. Thanks a lot.